Around the time that the Islamic State starts to gain traction in Iraq and Syria, we begin to see an increase in the number of inspired plotters in Europe. And what we see is individuals had been attracted to go to Syria and Iraq, or inspired because what they saw as a caliphate. They were inspired to conduct those attacks in Europe as part of a global, what they perceived as a global war between Islam and the West. We're talking about individuals that actually had felt like they had been isolated, not just from French or British societies, but also disenfranchised from the vast majority of Islam in Europe, which was moderate. There are at least three types of concerns with radicalization. One is a small number of men in particular that have returned as foreign fighters. They went to Iraq or Syria to fight with groups like the Islamic State, and then they've returned to Europe. A second is family members. These individuals haven't necessarily done anything illegal. They were either married to an extremist, or they were the son or daughter of one, and they have come back in some cases in fairly large numbers, and it's created an issue about how do you deal with individuals that may actually have some tendencies towards radicalization. The third is individuals actually are coming out of prisons, many of whom were involved in criminal activity, drug trafficking, had spent time in prison, and that prison time turned out to be important in facilitating, in many cases, radicalization. Well, European governments have struggled to deal with a range of the extremists in their midst. We've seen a major increase in the threat from far-right extremism. It's probably on par or close to on par from the Islamic extremist threat to Europe right now in terms of number of potential plots and attacks. We've seen it, for example, in attacks. A member of the British Parliament, Joe Cox, was assassinated by a far-right extremist. There was a major attack with one individual killed at the Finsbury Park Mosque. I don't think you can ever expect it to end. I think the issue is managing it and keeping the levels low, preventing as many attacks as you can, and then trying to make sure we don't see a groundswell of support for extremism in Europe, whether it's far right, far left, Islamic, other types of religious or ethnic nationalist violence.